I see a lot of come to Brazil videos, right? Brazil is beautiful, Brazil is nice, Brazil has so many benefits, Brazil has so many good things, and all of that. Yes, for a fact, Brazil is beautiful, right? Brazil is beautiful. Brazil has these benefits. Truly, if it's truth, yeah, these benefits are here. But there is a gap. People are failing to tell people. People are craving for nothing but the truth, the hard truth. Like me personally, I'm a realist, right? When I'm looking for something, I expect to get nothing but the real truth, just how it is. The highest deceit is to deceive yourself, right? What am I trying to say in essence? Brazil is a beautiful place to be, to live in. Or do you know that Brazil favors a set of people more? If your husband lives in Brazil, or your wife lives in Brazil, or you have a family or a trusted friend that lives in Brazil, that can give you a soft landing when you enter into this country. And trust me, this soft landing with a touch of patience. That's what you need from this person. Not just any soft landing, but soft landing with a lot of patience. Because when you come into Brazil, don't expect that you just adjust immediately. One thing you need to know is Brazil does not understand English. Except you're coming from a Portuguese-speaking country already, then guys, you're going to have a beautiful stay from day one. You're going to start having fun from day one. But if you are an English speaker, or even any other language, a language other than Portuguese is foreign to you, trust me, it's not going to be easy. The first thing first that people fail to address when talking about come to Brazil. Brazil is beautiful. Brazil has so many benefits. Can you cope with the language? Portuguese is not easy. It's not. Portuguese is hard. But I would say it's hard if you want it to be hard for you. Because I personally have lived in this country for a little bit over 3 years. But I speak and write Portuguese. Don't get me wrong. I'm not there yet to perfection. But I sort myself in situations. I can communicate whatever it is I want to say. Whatever it is I want to write. I can express myself wherever I am. I can find my way around this country. I've had to take about 3 or 4 courses in this country. I've gone to a school that lasted for 6 months. Guys, that's a story for another day because, man, I don't understand jack in Portuguese when I enter here. Though I did a bit of practice in Nigeria, just the basic greetings and all of that. But when you're not in the environment where you're practicing it, that's bullshit. It's going to, if it sticks, maybe 1 or 2. I was just doing all of that prior and after I did all of those practices and all of that, and I don't even think if any of those things sticked. But it was when I came into the country, they were not so foreign. I'll be like, I've heard this word, I've heard this word, I've heard this word. That is what it does for you. It makes the word look familiar. It creates a sort of familiarity about those words and those things. If you don't know how to speak Portuguese, guys, you better start practicing it from Nigeria or wherever it is you're watching from, or wherever country that you're coming from that is not a Portuguese speaking country. Better start practicing. Because when you land here, man, depression is real. Many people don't tell you their backstory, and it's never easy. If you want to get yourself, or you want to come to Brazil, you want to enjoy all the benefits, the language barrier is a big thing. It's real. Depression will catch up with you real quick. Real soon. It will catch up with you because by the time you go to the hospital and you want to express yourself, tell the doctor, oh, my stomach is hurting, my head wants to fall off. That kind of expression, you want to be like, man, it feels like my head will fall off my head and start rolling on the ground. How do you explain that to a doctor that doesn't understand? How do you explain that to a doctor who does not even know what is how are you? Depression is real. When you come in, that's the part they don't tell you. Brazil is fun if you have someone to give you a soft landing, someone who is going to guide you. Now, the norm here is when you come in, if you intend to live in Brazil, you have to literally ask for assistance from someone who already speaks or understands. And that's going to limit your movement. That's going to limit a lot of things you want to do, except you know what you came for, or you don't need a lot of communication with people. But trust me, if you want Brazil to feel the total experience about Brazil, if you want the complete experience, the goodness of Brazil, you need to learn the language first. Language is the #1 thing you need to get sorted out. And if peradventure you find yourself in Brazil without understanding the language, just get started. Man, from the very first day you land into this country, don't wait for someone to tell you, go and study in Portuguese. Just get started with it already. There are so many ways you can learn the language. You have your translators. Me personally, I love Google Translate because it translates the words for you like a native speaker. Google Translate is good. There are apps like Duolingo. There are so many ways you can just get it going. Else, there are lots of people who are in this country 5 years, 7 years, 10 years. They can't make a full sentence in Portuguese. That's the norm here. When next time you're thinking of, except you're coming here for vacation, then you might use a tour guide. You won't have the need for all of that. But even as someone who is coming for vacation, go and get familiar with everyday word, the basic word. You need to know greetings. You need to know just the basic words, right? At least when you're somewhere in the midst of people, when they're saying certain things, or definitely people will say hello, people will say hi, because Brazilians are free-spirited. They are very friendly. They might see you and just like you, and they'll be like, oi, bom dia, oi, Muito lindo. When you hear those things and you don't know what it looks like, they're insulting you. They're not insulting you. They're just passing compliments to you. There is no way. It's preferable to me. I would say go learn the basic language. Just the basics, greetings at least. Or even if you don't do that before you come into Brazil, get it going once you come into Brazil. Start off with it, get it, just start. Don't even wait for somebody. For me, I learned under 3 years, and there are certain things that really helped me improve my Portuguese, both the writing, both the learning, and the speaking. I won't tell you I'm perfect, but I mean, there's nothing you want to tell me I don't know what you're saying. And by the grace of God, I know what to write. Even if you write it, I can read Portuguese. I know how many courses I've taken in this country. I've only stayed here 3 years, a little over 3 years. I came in without understanding anything. I just came on my own. Go to Brazil. I was just like, oh, really? Where do I start? And as time goes on, you get to adapt. But look, one thing I tell people is when you love the language will love you. When you love Portuguese and you love Brazil and everything about Brazil, Brazil will love you and the language will love you. There's a way to come around to just make it flow. And when you want to do your documentation process, when you want to go for your documentation, I hope you know that language is their basic and almost like the most important criteria for those who want to naturalize in Brazil. I'm not talking about getting your permanent residence, but if you feel like you want to naturalize in Brazil someday, language is the #1 criteria that they don't joke with. You have to prove, you have to take tests, written and oral. Get it started already. The earlier the better. Get it started. If you ask me, get it started. Just when you come into Brazil, when you think of coming to Brazil to live, to come for the benefits, please shove down a bunch of patience in your bag. You need lots of patience. Shove it down, if possible. Take up just pack loads of patience in your bag, because it's not going to be easy. But to those who believe, to those who trust, everything worketh for their good. Good things come to those who believe and who work towards it, not just believing and not doing nada. You believe and you work towards it.